got some notes.
Well, it's just our special.
Today's special. Okay, so we need to ask you.
Yeah.
Hey, what's the special
Talk about
today?
the specials.
Let's talk about the specials today.
Because we've got a couple of questions in here for you. But,
Okay. Sounds good.
we were hoping you would have something you wanted us to talk about too. Stuff's pretty easy.
And good morning. Welcome to Good Morning Neighbor. I'm Michael.
And I'm Arlene, and we're with NWA Welcome Services. Michael, go ahead.
Well, we're broadcasting via Facebook Live from the beautiful Neighbors Mill Bakery and Cafe right here off Pleasant Grove Road in Rogers. And it's a place really where neighbors can gather for breakfast, lunch, dinner even. And, you know, if you just want to come by to grab a cup of coffee and just a good loaf of bread or a wonderful cinnamon roll or just a great pastry, guess what, folks? This is the place to do it.
And Michael and I, like I said, are with NWA Welcome Services. We're encouraging people to contact each other one-to-one and be out in the community, get involved with their neighbors. And then also we come together once a week here at Neighbors Mill and then meet with local business owners so that they can tell each other what's going on in their businesses and enjoy each other's company and do a little networking.
Well, Arlene, this morning we're honored and privileged to have one of our great sponsors, Neighbors Mill, and Mike Brooks with us this morning.
Good morning, Mike.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us, Mike. And one of the things that I like about Neighbors Mill is this wonderful peaches and cream sweetbread that you have.
Yes.
We had the opportunity to sample that, and I'll tell you, what is your secret to getting such a great texture in your sweetbreads?
And that moisture.
Oh.
Well, it is a secret.
I was afraid you'd say that.
So it's the great recipes and also the care and compassion that we put into making sure we have good, fine quality ingredients that go into these things. And putting fresh peaches in there doesn't hurt.
Okay.
Can you tell us where those great peaches come from, or is that a secret?
Well, we order in, and so I think they're local to maybe Arkansas, but I'm not sure exactly the location that they come from, but they're part of what we serve.
There you go, there you go. Well, you've got a wonderful statement of belief for Neighbors Mill, and it's that as neighbors we believe honest ingredients is the best policy. So tell us a little bit about what an honest ingredient is.
Well, when you look at our packaging, it's all ingredients that you would recognize, that you could recognize from buying it in a grocery store, or and then we go the extra mile for our customers to make sure that we're sourcing the best quality of those ingredients for them. And so when we put it in our food, put it in our packaging, our customers can know that they're getting the best that they can buy.
Excellent. Well, honey, I'll tell you, next time our next purchase is going to be Neighbors Rogers Best. We've talked about that, and ever since we visited last time, so I know we're going to purchase a loaf of that and try that.
Yes,
so
it's very, very popular selling bread. It's a multigrain that we serve some of our sandwiches here on, and it flies off the shelves every time we make some. So, very popular.
Well, tell us, Michael, today it's Monday and people are just kind of back to work. Tell us a little bit about what the specials are going on today.
Well, today we'll have, as we do every day, a special grilled sandwich. And today we'll have our chicken cordon bleu. So that'll become on our Tim's sourdough bread today. So we're going to have, it's kind of a traditional recipe that you think about with a cordon bleu. It's the chicken breast, the ham, the Swiss cheese. We do serve it with our house-made pesto mayo, so a little different ingredient there for the mayo. And then again, on the Tim's sourdough bread, it's a bread we serve.
Where did the name Tim's sourdough bread come from? Do you know that one?
I do. So the head baker in the Harrison location, his name is Tim, so super creative. He developed the recipe long ago. He's been with the Neighbors' original store since I think the beginning, or certainly near the beginning of the restaurant, and so he's their head baker. So it's his namesake bread. So.
Well, Michael and Michael, we're going to have to start a new show called the Michael
Mike and Mike
Squared
show.
or something.
Yeah.
But because last week we kept having issues with neither one knowing who was being talked to at the same time.
Yes.
They both go by Michael and Mike, so we couldn't split that up.
Yeah.
So Michael and Michael. Our first guest on the show today is Allie Bowling. She's the I cannot talk today for some reason. She's the Community Relations Director with American Cancer Society. But before we speak with Allie, Michael, Brooks, I want you to know we are blessed today to have a musician with us that is very, very dear to our family. And I want to read just a little bit that I wrote about him last night. As you will see, he is a skilled musician, but what you won't see is his hidden talent as a music teacher and a father. Wes McGee teaches instrument and vocal classes at 2 schools, guitar lessons at Meteor Guitar Gallery in Bentonville, and he would tell you probably that he has about 70 students. However, I would tell you he has 78 because I know that he works at teaching his 8 children in the world of music as well. We even have one of his children here in the audience today, Miss Anna. Can you wave at him, Anna? Give us a big wave.
Anna? There you go.
Thank you. So let's take a few minutes and listen to Wes.
There we go. All right. Thank you. Back, and we want to thank Mike and Robin Brooks, owners of Neighbors Mill, for again having us. And you know, everything here is about fresh and wholesome, and really just the items that, in one sense, folks, make things great for your health plan and your diet plan. And And speaking of fresh and wholesome items, when major changes happen in life, such as health issues, watching what you eat is critical to how recovery goes. And here with us this morning, we have Allie Brooks, Community Development Manager for the American Cancer Society, to walk us through what the American Cancer Society is doing to change people's lives affected by cancer. Allie, thank you for joining us this morning. We're just excited to get to really talk to you about the American Cancer Society. So as Community Development Manager for ACS, you wear a number of different hats between managing events. It seems though I see you a lot around town and just getting to different places, working with volunteers as well. So what do you find is the most exciting hat that you wear as Community Development Manager?
Honestly, it's getting to know people. Everywhere that I go, if I tell somebody that I work for the American Cancer Society, they tell me their story. I've gotten to know more people in the last 3 months and hearing that what I'm doing, whether it's coming out and talking about what we do, or going out and meeting other people that maybe you can collaborate with or volunteer with, that everybody has a story, and something that I'm doing is helping them make that story a little bit better. Or I'll have people tell me something that the American Cancer Society did for them. And so it's like the end of the day, no matter what kind of day it is, whether I'm out going door to door talking to people in the rain, I get home and I still feel like I'm doing something that is fulfilling and is giving back to the community.
Well, excellent. I'll tell you, the job you have is not only fun-filled, but I'm sure also just really a heavy load sometimes when you're trying to walk people through different life circumstances with cancer. So according to ACS, Facts and Figures 2017 publication, Arkansas was estimated to have 16,040 newly reported individuals diagnosed with selected cancers. That's a lot of folks. So of the top 10 selected cancers, lung cancer was the #1 category reported in Arkansas, affecting 2,620 individuals. With over $4.6 billion raised in cancer research over the last decade nationally, what programs or events is the ACS working on in Northwest Arkansas to raise awareness with a disease that remains the second leading cause of death among individuals in our country today, Allie?
So for Northwest Arkansas in particular, in the whole state, we are looking at education and prevention.
Okay.
We are out there getting people, talking to different, lost the word, different conferences around the area, different health things. We collaborate with local areas such as Hope Cancer Resources down in Springdale. We work with them. We have meetings with some of their people. They actually go and talk with us. We have been a part of lobbying for the higher cigarette tax to make things a little bit harder for people to get to.
Okay.
Providing that education, providing that care, working with Highland Oncology, keeping in touch with those. For cancer as a whole, I think we're second prize winners for our researchers that have our grants that they're working on to fight cancer.
Yes.
Through the recovery process, everything from we provide free makeup kits, free wigs. In Northwest Arkansas, you can actually go up 2 exits to our office and leave with a free wig if anybody needs one.
Fantastic.
That's the thing that you can just walk in if we're there, walk out with a wig, completely free. So we are really on the support side and the research side, and as a nation, we are trying to lead in research.
Fantastic. Well, your job is fun, and again, needless to say, you get through some interesting meetings. I was noticing on Facebook the other day with ACS. Tell us about your quote-unquote fundraising meeting at Flipside Ninja Park you had the other day. Getting ready, it looks like, to partner with ACS. So, kind of how did that obstacle course go? It was looking a little tough for you, but...
It was a little tough, and I actually do a lot of obstacle courses, and that one, I'm going to have to go back and get some more challenging with me. So it'll prepare me for my next one. Maybe I'll do Tough Mudder this year from that.
Well...
But they are a part of our Real Men Wear Pink campaign.
Okay.
So what that is, it's a breast cancer fundraiser and awareness campaign.
Fantastic.
So I'm looking to recruit a total of 20 men in this area, or companies with somebody that's willing to be the face of the campaign.
Okay.
That's talking about breast cancer. And as women, it's called Real Men Wear Pink. As women know. We know from, age 10 years old that this is going to be a part of our lives. It's going to affect us. It's going to affect our mothers. And we want men to realize, too, that not only is it going to affect somebody that you care about, men get diagnosed with breast cancer as well. And it's not something that's really talked about. So we're looking at how this affects everyone, getting that push. We have a goal to raise $50,000.
Excellent.
With this one campaign. So Kayla Benson, co-owner of Flipside Ninja, has signed up to be one of our Real Men Wear Pink, and they are going to be doing some stuff to honor a friend of theirs whose mother recently passed away from the disease. So they are celebrating her memory and her fight and raising awareness that hopefully with the funds that we raise, we can put it toward research that makes that fight a little bit easier for somebody else, and hopefully eventually that people don't have to go through that fight at all.
It does. It really does. Well, thank you for partnering with them as well. And so as you know, Allie, NWA Welcome Services and Bolt NWA teamed up to bolt the door on cancer April 20th. So we had some folks to see if they could escape for a cause in one of Bolt's great escape rooms. So we're excited today to present you a check from the Escape for a Cause campaign for $157.44.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, and we're excited.
I am excited.
So tell us a little bit about what that 157 will do for some folks.
So this 157, currently in Arkansas, we are pushing toward getting people more rides. So this is a ride to treatment. This is a stay somewhere. This is, we mentioned the makeup kits that we give people. We have a program here in Northwest Arkansas. There's 2 locations at the Cancer Support Home. It's called the Look Good, Feel Better program. That's just about the cost of one of the makeup kits. Like this, we provide those makeup kits through us. We are a co-sponsor of that.
Excellent.
So it does help people locally. It helps us get back into our community. It does help us with research. And for this, too, we will be recognizing NWA Welcome Services at the Light of Hope sponsored our Cattle Barons Ball this fall.
Fantastic. Well, Allie, thank you so much for joining us on
Good
Morning Neighbor.
I really appreciate the fundraiser.
Well, we appreciate you being here, and also as Community Development Manager, we appreciate you out in the community on behalf of ACS. Thank you. And now to Wes. Thank you. I'm sorry, and now to Arlene.
Plans there. So on our
All right,
really
sure.
good segment today, we have a beautiful grandmother of 16 beautiful grandchildren that mean the world to her. With me today is Miss Ramona Cagle. She is a former certified nursing assistant, and she is now turned global director with a company called Magic. And she's going to share with us today about the product that altered her life, as well as many others that she's visited with and experienced. So, Ramona, give us an overview first of this amazing product you have.
Well, good morning, and thank you for having me this morning. Enagic Kangen water changed my life back in January 2011. Water is the elixir to life, and not all water is created equal. I didn't know that prior to Kangen water, and it's very simple. The process is just drink the water and don't drink sodas, coffees, teas, Gatorade, sports drinks for 2 weeks and see if it builds value with you.
Awesome. So tell me a little bit about how it works as far as what, I mean,
Awesome.
It's not just me turning on the tap, right?
That's correct. It is a device that installs to your cold water line with the push of a button right here. It will come into Kangen water, 3 different levels of pH, then clean water, then beauty water, and then the bottom button is an amazing way to make 2 different waters, a high alkaline water that can degrease and clean fruits and vegetables, and then a strong acidic water that kills MRSA, staph, E. coli, sanitizes.
Sanitizes,
yes.
okay.
So removing a lot of toxic chemicals from our home.
Awesome.
Yes.
Well, I know we've talked about that it has those unique properties to rid of those viruses and such and the bacteria, but I've also heard about it, reading about how you can degrease and remove pesticides and such from your vegetables and fruits. So
Yes.
I understand the combination there, but it can also be an anti-inflammatory for a person's joints and different inflammations in their body. So tell us a little bit about that.
Okay. Well, first of all, the water doesn't cure, treat, or diagnose, but it, again, is the elixir to life, and it's done, the special waters that you're referring to, done on the orange button down here, is done through electrolysis, through a salt solution. So the only time the device is using the electrolysis or the enhancer solution is when you push those two buttons. And it has the ability to make that strong alkaline water that degreases, as you said, or cleans our floors, carpets, clothes, so removing those toxic chemicals. And then the strong 2.5 is the one that kills MRSA, staph, and E. coli, only done through the electrolysis process with the salt solution.
And that's the orange.
Yes,
Here.
yes.
Well, I told you earlier about how I love a product that comes out of that yellow one that I've been introduced to, and that's this one. And, you know, here we are, we're talking about how it does all these wonderful things of killing viruses, and it'll even clean your kitchen floor when you use it there. But what amazes me is that even though it can clean your kitchen floor, this product can also be a beauty product for you. Now, how is that I can use it on my floor and I can use it on my face?
Amazing Japanese technology done through the Kangen devices. The beauty water is this yellow one. The pH is around 5 to 6.5, and amazing toner. Hair rinse, great for washing your windows, crystal chandeliers.
Well, now I understand why you chose the yellow label on this, because this is the yellow label.
Yes.
And this is what Ramona has in our welcome baskets she gives out to each new homeowner. And this one little bottle will tighten and tone the skin, as she mentioned, but you can also use it as a hair rinse. You can use it to wash your, when you're bathing your pets, so that you can keep their hair nice and smooth. Eyeglass cleaner. What else can we use this one for?
I like to make poached eggs in beauty water. I don't know what it is, but the pH of the water produces an amazing poached egg.
Wow.
Who would have
Okay.
known that the different levels of water could make cooking and cleaning and hydrating different? But
Awesome. Awesome.
all water is not created equal.
Okay. Well, Ramona, we are so thrilled that you've been here with us today. You have one last thing to tell us about?
Yes, I do. Thank you so much. So, Neighbor's Mill and Bakery and Cafe, tomorrow night, if you want to know more about Kangen water, we'll be doing a live demonstration right here in the private room at 6:30. My friends Philip and Loretta Harp will be demonstrating, and we just encourage you to come out and support Neighbor's Mill Bakery and Cafe and check it out. It may be the right product for you. Water.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, next time, let's have you back to talk a little more about that Japanese technology and how that came about. And then otherwise, beyond that, we can talk about some of the other benefits more specifically.
Sounds great.
Glad
There are
to have
many,
you here
many
today.
benefits. Thank you so
much.
much.
Let's go see if Wes is back with us.
back with Good Morning Neighbor. I'm Michael, and pleasure this morning to have back Dream Vacations to really kind of talk to us about how to get away and just relax amongst all the pressures we have daily in and out of our lives. And so, Debbie, welcome back this morning, and thank you for being here. We're excited. The Dream Vacations team will be with us each week going forward, sharing destination spotlights and travel tips. So what do you have for us this morning?
Well, I'm going to share my favorite travel tip that I like to share with all of my clients.
Excellent.
And that is when my husband and I are going on a vacation together and we are flying and we're checking bags. In addition to packing one change of clothes in our carry-on in case something happens, we split up our clothes. So I put half of my clothes in his suitcase and he puts half of his in mine. That way, if one suitcase is lost, hopefully the other one will make it and we'll have enough clothes to get us through a couple of days while the airline finds that lost suitcase.
Imagine that. I wonder how many people, there's just a lot of folks, I think, that run through that. And that's a great tip. Thank you. So do you have one of those tips kind of coming up for a future trip that folks are planning or for, we're looking at?
Yeah, we're getting ready to do a group cruise on the brand new Norwegian Bliss. It hasn't even launched yet in the United States. It's still on its way over here.
Excellent.
And so we will be taking a large group of people to Alaska this summer.
Fantastic.
And we are really excited about this ship. We are really excited about Alaska. We went to Alaska in September of 2016 on another cruise called an uncruise that is a very small expeditionary type ship where you don't go into the big ports with thousands of other people. You get to launch kayaks off of the back of the boat and paddle around or go tromp around on a hike on the land and see bears and salmon and whales and other wildlife, and it was absolutely amazing. So we're looking forward to going back to Alaska.
Well, I'll tell you, Debbie, this takes me back a little bit in time about, 15, 20 years ago, I took an Alaskan trip up through the Inside Passage, and it was absolutely gorgeous. And Royal Caribbean was the one we did that cruise with. And so I'll tell you, going to Alaska, that is a whole different experience that I think if you can experience that, you must experience that.
I agree.
And so specials right now. Are there any going on right now, either to Alaska or to other ports? It's that time of year when families are, the kids are getting out of school and, gosh, gotta do something for those summer vacations. I don't think it's ever too late to really plan kind of that last-minute trip where you can get some great deals.
We can always find something for you, yes. And I do have a few, and I am going to share with you. There's another small ship called Paul Gauguin, and they cruise in Tahiti. Very beautiful, beautiful ship, all-inclusive. They take really good care of you. So right now they're doing up to $3,200 per person off of several cruise dates through March of next year.
You said
I did.
$3,200
Per person.
per person.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's a great deal. Through May 10th, we also have up to 35% off of some Hawaiian vacations. That goes through September of this year. So Hawaii is a great getaway.
Excellent.
And let's see. So we also have Dream Vacations exclusives.
Okay.
World Travel Holdings is our parent company,
All
and
right.
we are the largest seller of cruises in the world. So we have great partnerships with a lot of cruise lines. And right now, exclusive to Dream Vacations is $100 onboard credit for all 2018 celebrity cruises of 7 nights or longer. That expires May 11th. Or up to $100 onboard credit for most Norwegian cruises of 6 nights or longer, plus the 4-night Cuba sailings, and that goes through May 31st.
You said Cuba,
Cuba.
where
yes.
I can get some great cigars.
You can get
Sure.
some great cigars,
All
and
right.
it's legal now.
Yes, legal.
The other thing I wanted to share with you guys is we also, 3 to 4 times a year, we do vacation giveaways. And so today is the last day for our $10,000 vacation giveaway. So if you can use $10,000 for a vacation,
Can you just give that to me right now?
I wish I could give it to myself.
Well, there you go.
The way you sign up is you go to one of our websites.
Okay.
So I've got mine, Peggy, and Jeff all on here.
Okay,
And
all
so
right.
you go to one of those websites and you look for that picture that I showed you a moment ago. Just scroll down a little bit, click on it, and register to win. And today is the last day.
Excellent. Well, Debbie, thank you for giving us these great tips, especially for $10,000. So I need to go down and get my lottery ticket and then cash in on this. Excellent. Debbie, thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you again in a few weeks, to welcoming Dream Vacations colleagues Peggy and Jeff next week. Excellent. Well, thanks again.
Thanks, Steve.
Appreciate you.
Thanks for having us.
And now over to Wes.
Person has no idea what corn sport is.
We're back. Thank you, Wes. We always enjoy listening to his instrumental guitar music and just love his family. Excuse me. Our next guest is Miss Carrie Perrin-Smith, and we've known Carrie for a long, long time. Again, another family favorite and friend of ours. So Carrie is running. Excuse me, I'm going to have to take a sip of your tea, I think. Carrie is running for Justice of the Peace in Benton County. So we're going to talk to her a little bit about her political ambitions today. And Carrie, tell us just a little bit about yourself.
Well, I've lived in Rogers next month, 25 years. So I'm super excited. I grew up in Oklahoma and lived in Dallas for the first 7 years of my adult life. And I have really gotten involved in the community, and having, since I left my corporate job in 2001 to start my own business and had more flexibility, I have volunteered with over 20 organizations in leadership roles. Many more than that, but in leadership roles. So I really saw elected office as a chance for me to take that community service to the next level. I know you're always busy doing something that's benefiting those in the community, as well as you're an avid gardener and fixer-upper, I guess we could say, a do-it-yourself project person. I just think of you as a lady with many, many talents that could really bring a lot to the Justice of the Peace position. So the primary is approaching May 22nd.
Right. Early voting starts May 7th.
May 7th, great. Okay, so give voters a look into what the position is about and a little insight on the quorum court.
Okay. Well, the quorum court, if you're not familiar with it, is the legislative branch for the county. I describe it as city council for the county. And justices of the peace are the people who, the aldermen, if you're on the city council, they are the individual members on that legislative body. And so they also sit on committees, and they make decisions for things that have to, affect the entire county, such as the jail or highways or bridges. Not necessarily highways, probably smaller roads, county roads, but bridges, a lot of those fall under the county's responsibility. And not the smallest issue that's happening this year certainly is the county courthouse expansion.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, they've already decided how they're going to do that. So the next couple of years, they're going to fund and break ground on that project. And I think that would be so fascinating to be able to have a front row seat to that.
Well, I can't think of a better person with your experiences and such
I'm excited
to be in that, involved in that project.
Yeah, and they also have committees, and so that's, all of the JPs sit on committees that, affect things like human resources and decisions at the jail and roads and different things. So, certainly with my background, related, I was in our human resources organization here for over 10 years. So I've sat through many, many, many hours of continuing education programs. So even though I was never a human resources manager, I know a lot of what they do, enough to be on a committee and really benefit the county.
Excellent. Well, we only have about a minute left, a few seconds. And so tell us a little bit about what you would like to accomplish as Justice of the Peace.
I think the most important thing that I can do for the county at this point is, if elected as Justice of the Peace, is, kind of start digging into some of the communication issues that they're still trying to evolve within the county. The county's not had a great communication program, and so they've really been trying to amp that up underneath County Judge Barry Mooring. They have really a long way to go, and so with my background in communication, internal, external, public relations, marketing, definitely there's a lot that I can help the county with. So I hope they will draw on me as a resource, but also put me on some committees where I, can really help them, where I bring my expertise to the table. Because I'm definitely somebody who does their homework and listens more than she speaks.
Yes, that's one of your great qualities and characteristics. Again, thank you for being here with us, and we look forward to next week when you're going to host the Talking Politics.
Yeah, I'm super excited about that. There's a lot to know, and there's a lot of things that our viewers don't know about what's going on in our state and local government. So
awesome. Well, let's take it back to Les, and then after that, we're going to have our next guest in our Money Talks segment.
we visited with our JP Justice of the Peace candidate, Carrie Smith, and I encourage you to go out and vote this between May 7th or in the general election on May 22nd. For our finance section today, our money talks, we have with us again our great friends from Northward Coaching, Rob and Melanie. Excuse me, I'm going to lose my voice. So, Rob and Melanie have Northward Coaching, and they help you with all your financial planning and coaching. Most of all, how to get that money in control and working for you. So that's excellent. Well, finances have different pressure points. Today we're going to talk about fun in finance, but there are pressure points, and for couples in particular. So how do you put some fun money into your budget to ease the tensions of sticking to that budget? Rob?
Well, you know, the reality is we all need to have some fun with life. And even though your finances might be just incredibly pressured, if you don't plan for it and you don't put it in the budget, you're going to go spend it anyway. In fact, you're going to blow your budget because you're going to have some fun that was unplanned, and you might as well go ahead and put a small, reasonable amount in that budget, depending on where you are in life. I mean, because if you are under significant pressures, you might not want to have as much fun money, but you do need to have some. If you've got everything paid for and you've got money rolling, you can have a lot more fun that way.
And do people find that if they don't plan their fun money, they spend too much fun money?
Yeah, because, well, they didn't have anything planned, so that was too much.
So then it's, yeah, but then they seem to, I know we've always learned that they seem to go even bigger.
Yeah,
So-
that's right. They overdo it.
Well, Melanie, tell us what fun money isn't.
Fun money isn't something that you feel guilted into spending maybe on somebody else. One thing that sometimes happens is I'll be a little short in the grocery and I'll go, oh, well, I've got this fun money over here, so I'll make up for it. But make sure if that happens to you, you always make a note of it and pay yourself back, because you don't want that to drain out and then come up and, well, what did I get to do? So it's good to have some fun with that. Also, think about spending it on yourself, and don't feel guilty or selfish about that. Or if you're not spending it on yourself, something that really does bring you joy, that you want to do for someone else, that's a special treat for them that would make you really happy to do.
Awesome, awesome. Well, when a person is budgeting, or a couple, and kind of, because that's what we're talking about today, those pressure points with couples.
Yeah.
When they're budgeting, how much do they put aside for fun money?
Again, you have to really go back and look at how much, strife is caused in your finances. If things are really tight and it's going to be years before you pay off all that debt, you're going to have a moderate amount. I mean, anything above 1% per person in the family is probably too much in a monthly budget. If you're actually doing okay, you can bump that up to 2%, 3%, and of course all this is relative to your income. If you've got a significant income, 1% is a lot of money. And so maybe even that's too much. But definitely look at that and make sure your goal of paying off your debt or your goal of paying for college isn't sacrificed with your little fun of going to Starbucks every day, 3 times a day.
So one other little segue or snippet I'm going to ask you to give us is, when I eat at Neighbor's Mill, is that come out of my fun money, or is that budgeted somewhere else?
Well, that should be your your dining budget, right?
Okay,
so
great.
Neighbor's Mill should be in the budget already. Now, sometimes if you're just meeting friends, it could just be for coffee, and that could be for a quick bite, and that could still be fun. So you have 2 options.
Alrighty.
And
Places to pull from.
if your dining budget is already spent and you want to go have a little treat, then that could come out of your fun money too.
Excellent, excellent. Well, as couples or individuals begin to, that painful process, go through that of budgeting, buying wisely, what are some coaching tips that you provide to ease that pain?
Well, the first thing is maybe an attitude adjustment, and try not to think of it as painful. Think of it as teamwork. This is some hard things that we are going to do together, and it can really pull a relationship together when you decide that we are going to do some work on this. And yeah, painful could be a good word, but also it's good pain, like the like exercising.
Yeah, and I would say you need to make sure that opens up the communication channel that maybe has been closed off. So the budget really is a tool to help you communicate, but it's also another way for you to look at and say, what am I trying to accomplish, and why am I here trying to do all this? Why am I going through this effort?
Well, and next week we're going to talk, I believe, about some of that why. And we're going to talk about how people can gain financial freedom and relieve some of that stress.
Excellent.
And work together in their daily lives.
We will look forward to it.
Let me ask this. Are you just plain cool, or are you really cool? Well, our next guest is going to tell us how he's got something simply too cool.
Simply cool.
Simply too cool.
Awesome.
That only the most discerning budgets should have in them.
Yes.
Unless they want to save up their fund money for it.
There you go. Save up for it.
Let's go back to Mike, and he's got Steve with him. He'll introduce him.
Rob and Melanie, for coaching us through fun and finances. So when you're too cool for Joe Cool, then I've got to say you're really cool. So let's welcome Steve Place, owner and CEO and founder of Simply Cool. Steve, great to have you with us today, and thank you for joining us. And as Arlene just mentioned, you know, your product is only for that discerning individual, and that has everything. So what is the attraction of your product to only the discerning individuals that, again, simply have everything?
Well, Mike, first of all, it's good to be here. I appreciate the opportunity. Why it's for the discerning individual is our coolers come in gold.
All right.
You simply can't beat gold.
You can't beat gold.
Now, we do have copper plating. We have brushed aluminum. But for the most part, the gold with the LEDs is the top of the line that your discerning customer is going to want and need.
Well, tell us a little bit about kind of how you put your product together, what your product is, and kind of walk us through briefly how you arrived at having this only for that discerning individual.
Well, Mike, what originally happened was I was taking care of some commercial property, and I hope I'm answering your question correctly.
You are.
And I noticed my beverage kept getting hot, or falling out, and I partnered up briefly with a former Razorback who has an engineering degree.
All right.
And we put two and two together and came up with a very rough prototype. But you know what? The prototype worked, and it still works. It's still in the test vehicle to this day, going on its third year without an incident. It's been car washed. It's been out in the rain. It's been thrown across the shop. It's been abused. Still hits 28 degrees though, and that's pretty cool.
And this is, as we're seeing here by your product display today, or by your display, this is a 28-degree what?
This is the 28-degree cooler. This is our flagship unit.
Okay.
We have two brushed aluminums here in the display.
Okay.
We have copper, and we have a gold back here.
So I can keep essentially any beverage at an ambient temperature of what?
28 degrees for 10 years.
For 10 years.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
And you can even put it in your favorite Razorback red color.
Well, funny you would mention that, Mike.
Yes.
This is Razorback red. That is blinking. I won't go much into that, but there is a reason it is blinking Razorback, and that is cold.
So all the different applications are everything from being on a jet to a yacht to, a lawnmower, because that's where this really started. Was here you were on a project, taking care of some lawns as well. All of a sudden, boom, your beverage is warm.
Right. I used to run a martial arts studio.
Okay.
And when the economy went bad in the location we were at, it went really bad. So we put the building up for sale and still had to maintain it.
Right.
So to get some peace of mind, I would mow, put in my headphones, and enjoy the day. And that's when the beverage fell out. And as I reached to grab it, it was laying on the ground. I nearly backed over my hand with the lawnmower.
Wow.
So it ended up being a necessary tool that was invented. It is a safety product for your outdoor lawn equipment, tractors, side-by-sides. If you'll Google tractor accidents, you'll see why they need to incorporate this in as a factory-installed option, because it is human instinct when your beverage falls, you reach for it, and that's when you fall off your vehicle. And that's essentially what happened to me, except I caught myself on the ground, as I pulled the stick back and almost backed over my hand.
Now, you have patented this
Yes,
product.
sir.
And so you are, again, the chief creator, the designer of this, and it is patented. It's, again, many applications from motor homes to jets to even, like you just said, down to lawnmowers.
Oh, absolutely.
And of course, there are lawnmowers only for the discerning, you know.
You know, this weekend at the home show here in Northwest Arkansas, I saw a $20,000 lawnmower. You know, to add one of these on there is not that big a deal, and you're going to have the coolest lawnmower in town when you do that.
And I can even, I don't even have to, if I'm watching a movie in my home, in my movie theater.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't even have to get up. I mean, I can.
Your home theater seating, they drop right in.
There you go.
They drop in your home theater seating. They fit most of the cup holders in your luxury motor coaches. Once we get the FAA certification, and that is, the ball is rolling on that, to get that where we can install an aircraft.
All right.
We'll be able to do that. But for the most part, your luxury boats, yachts, and your container doesn't have to be this size. We can make it any size to suit your needs if you've got the location to put it and the power pack for it.
Well,
so it's not hard.
And the other thing I like is, Steve, I play golf, and the other thing I like is that this can even go in golf carts. You know, when I'm tooling around my neighborhood or just playing a good game of golf, I don't have to worry about it falling out. I don't, you know, and it keeps my beverage cold.
Right, and this lip on top was redesigned specifically for the golf carts. When this ring was smaller, this would fall, the cup, the 28-degree cooler would fall completely through. So we enlarged this specifically for the golf cart cup holders and boats.
Fantastic. Steve, tell me what's on the horizon.
Well, on the horizon, Mike, we're looking at expanding into different countries. We have some requests for some products in Africa, believe it or not.
Okay.
Those are some of the original requests.
Okay.
We're looking at some products for Pinnacle Fire Department.
Okay.
They've contacted us on a project, and it is in prototype. We've got, what am I missing? The motorhome,
Motorhome, luxury motorhomes, jets, just various trade shows that you'll be going to continue to get the word out about your product as well.
Exactly.
Well, Steve, thank you for just, you know, the time that you've taken with us this morning to show us a really cool product. And, you know, even for the most discerning, you have to be simply cool.
Absolutely, Mike. It's my pleasure to be here.
Steve, thank you so much. And now we're going to jump over to Wes and then on to our next upcoming guest, Angelina Myers.
Great.
Excellent. Thank you, Steve.
You're welcome.
anyone that wants to get in touch with Wes for some music lessons for family members, or maybe you've just decided that in your retirement days you want to play guitar now, please do get in touch with Wes. You can just let us know through our Facebook page, or if you have our number, give us a call. We'll get you in touch with him. Well, next, as Michael had said, we have Angelina Myers with us. And she's just a delightful person with just that contagious personality when you sit down with her. So I wish everyone could sit down with her for a couple of hours, like I've had the opportunity to do, because she has so much to share, and she's such an interesting person. So not only is she just this delightful, exciting individual in her personality, but she is a Welcome Services representative, or what we call community liaison, for NWA Welcome Services. And she is a distributor with Shackley Products. And she is a mother of 4, so today is Multiple Children Day with you and Wes being here. Mother of 4, I'm sorry, I messed that up. She's a mother of 4 energetic boys and 1 girl, so she has 5 children.
4.
And, wait a minute, 3 energetic boys and 4 and 1 girl. Okay, I'll get it right. And then, so I'm just kind of off my game today, I guess, on my numbers and such.
That's okay.
But, Angelina, I don't know how you do it all. So, what can you tell us about how you can juggle all this? Because you also are very involved in the knowledge and learning about your faith. And just in getting that to where you know what you believe. You truly know it. So between all those different hats you wear, tell us how you do it.
I don't think I'd be able to do half of what I do without my wonderful husband, Joshua. He is an amazing support, and we kind of divide and conquer in all of the things that we do. And on top of that, with 4 kids, we have to have goals and a schedule that we follow.
I would think
and so we're very goal-oriented. But we also go with the flow, because with 4 kids, who knows what's going to happen from day to day.
No, don't be too strict with the planning. Just
Right.
be very flexible.
Yes.
Well, and to those of you in the audience, her 4 children, 3 boys, 1 girl, and her husband are with us over in the corner over here, appropriately under the sign that says "Gather." Please say hello to them today as well. Well, I mentioned that you're one of our community liaisons that we have out in the field working to welcome people to their new homes. So, what do you find is the most interesting thing about welcoming newcomers?
I think the most interesting and exciting is just being welcomed into these people's homes and them telling us their story of just where they've been and giving us a little piece of their history. I find that very fascinating and exciting, just to see what we've gathered here in Northwest Arkansas.
It's amazing the people you will meet.
Yes.
And just, like you said, the stories you hear from things that you would see the person and you just go, I would never picture you doing that from just looking at you. To you hear some pretty sad things too that they've been through, and it makes you realize you're not the only one that has challenges in life. So it's great to visit and make those connections.
Absolutely.
So you give a little sample product.
I do.
To each new homeowner when you're visiting, as well as all of our community liaisons are giving out that product on your behalf. So, Angelina, more and more people are trying to go green. They're going green in what they're putting into their homes, and they're also concerned about child-safe products. So if one of our homeowners asked you for your advice with those 2 things in mind, what would you recommend as a product for them?
Well, first of all, I would say that I can relate. 7 years ago, I was on that same path. I had a 1-year-old, twins, and a 2-year-old running around the house, and being new to being a stay-at-home mom, we were kind of getting acclimated to that particular scene, and they broke into the cabinet under the sink, and one sprayed the other in the face with a toxic cleaner.
Is this the
So I was
twins?
on that. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Twins, you know, they can get into
Always
stuff.
together.
And I was on that same journey of trying to find something that was safe and that they could be around. And I found that in Shackley about 7 years ago. And now I advertise the Basic H products that is non-toxic and it cleans better than anything I've ever cleaned with before. So as a mom of 4, I don't have all the time in the world to use that elbow grease that, you know, is sometimes advertised with cleaning products. So I'm able to just spray and let the cleaning product do what it does and then wipe it off and go. Or better yet, I can hand the bottle to one of my kids and have them clean it up.
Awesome. Yeah, I didn't even think about that aspect.
Yes.
So, because I know our son helps out with so many things, but not when he was the age of your children. There's no way I would have, you know, put a chemical product in his hands.
Absolutely.
So, well, what would be the best way for people to get in touch with you?
They could either contact me through email at angel.josh@outlook.com, or they could go to our website, which is angeljosh.myshackley.com.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, Angelina, we're thrilled to have you on our team as
Thank
a community
you.
liaison, and look forward to a long relationship with you.
Absolutely.
Building your business as well and helping you out there. So I was going to tell you to give each one of those children a hug for us, but you brought them to us, so
Yes.
what better way could you do? Before we go, let's have one more song from our wonderful guest musician, Wes McGee.
Well, we're back. I'm Michael, and before we get underway with closing out Good Morning Neighbor this morning, I want to take a moment and give a great round of applause to Wes McGee, our fine musician that joined us this morning to provide a little entertainment. Wes, thank you.
Well, Michael says, I'm Michael. That's my cue to say I'm Arlene, and we are live from Neighbors Mill Bakery and Cafe in South Rogers, Arkansas.
Well, Arlene, we look forward to the folks not only live here on our show, but also live across Facebook to join us next week as we welcome again more notable guests throughout Northwest Arkansas to our program.
Well, Michael, also we do want to give a special thanks to all of those who sponsor and make this possible to do this fun event and to allow all of you to come out and network with each other. I've seen lots of great conversations going on today, it looks like. So let's give that special thanks to some of our sponsors. Of course,
Neighbors Mill.
Where else? I mean, this is just the perfect place to come and be a neighbor with each other. And then our fabulous friends, I should say. Friends at Bolt NWA for doing production and technology. Barton Consulting.
Yes,
give them
a hand.
Barton Consulting helps us in so many ways as well. And our furnishings are supplied by Ashley Home Store, just right across the way from Neighbors Mill.
Well, and also to Faith Event Services for providing kind of our production items here as far as our mixer and some of the equipment. Meteor Guitar Gallery, KR Promotions, Simply Cool, which is really just too cool for words, Music Works, and Minuteman Press and Printing.
Until next week, this is Arlene and Mike saying, good morning,
neighbor. Have a great day.